Good evening, everyone. Welcome to In the Psychic Flow. I don't have my preview thing that I usually have.
Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy the Goldylocks Productions presentation of the In the Psychic Flow Show with Carolan Carey.
Hey, welcome. I jumped the gun a little bit there. I didn't see my opening, so welcome everyone to In the Psychic Flow. Delighted to have you with us tonight. We have a very special guest who I'm going to introduce, who is quite wonderful. The fabulous psychic Joanne Leo is with us this evening, and I know people are getting all excited about that. I got people texting me earlier today. Hi, Jill.
Hi.
We are happy to have Joanne with us. Let me do a little introduction of this lovely lady in case you don't know who she is. Psychic Joanne Leo is the soul reader. She is a life coach. She does tarot with a twist, readings from the heart. Her website is psychicjoanneleo.com, and it's there on the screen for you. And Joanne was a six-figure corporate exec who has changed paths, and over many years, she's delivered probably thousands of readings, I would think. And she uses a combination of psychic numerology, which is unique to Joanne. She does a wonderful job coaching. I can attest to that. She's been very helpful to me in plotting my success, or what we hope is going to be success, right? So far, so good. And one other thing I wanted to just throw in here before I forget, since we have the lovely psychic Joanne Leo here, if you enjoy the show this evening, or if you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you'll get further notifications. Joanne, what do you have for us tonight?
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit because, it's the full moon.
Yeah.
And it's, it's really kind of like the harvest moon, but the full moon is in Aries. And if we talk about Aries a little bit, Aries are movers and shakers. Once they get something, it's like, the total ram, they're going to drive it home. They can be stubborn, so you're going to meet with a little resistance, I think, this month. But I think, and it can be impulsive as well, too. So I really think that we just need to be steady as you go here, but also be prepared to do innovative things and don't get into conflicts, because Aries likes to ram it, they like to ram it. So if you're tested or somebody's on your last nerve, I want you to kind of, take a deep breath, or say, let me get back to you on it, or take 10, everybody has an opinion, and I always say this, you're welcome, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not on that page. It's because I don't want to get into an argument. Everybody can think what they want to think. God gave us this free will, and by God, you need to use your free will. But with Aries, it's kind of like things can get a little fiery or a little testy. And I think we all know from what's gone on this year. I want to see if I can get this centered more here. I'm trying to do that. But anyway, I think with Aries, I think, people, what we've gone through this year has been up and down and in and out. We're wearing masks. We're not wearing masks. We're sequestered. We can go to church. We can't go to church. We can't go to a restaurant. We've all been tested to the max. Okay. So I guess this has been the best time for us to practice patience. And I would say that it hasn't always been easy. But as far as numerology goes, okay, today is an 11-2 day, which is a master number. And so this is always good for following your gut feelings, your intuition, getting that spark of an inner knowing, or you get a hunch it's a good day to follow through on that. It also revers when you look at the big picture of what's really going on with October 1st. It also has the sixth energy, which is nurturing and responsibility. And I think that a lot of us are being challenged with either working from home or looking for other employment. And things are going to start getting better, but it's going to be a very slow motion, a calculated motion. We just have to keep our cool. But I did bring a surprise to help everybody balance their energies. Look, I found this lovely, I'm going to see if I can get this in the right frame here. I want to change this darn screen here is what I want to do. Okay. All right, let's see if I can bring this into focus here. And this is my angel. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to try to turn this the other way now because this is ridiculous. Okay. There we go. All right. So I got this about 20 years ago. And hang on a second. Let me disconnect this here. All right. Now we're organized. So I want to be sure that we have this in the right direction here. But anyway, this is, you want to talk about harmonizing. And of course, it's all jazzed up right now because I put it away before. I use this a lot. Here we go. Listen to that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Very nice. About getting centered and really balancing out the energy. When I get really stressed out, this is like music to my ears. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, it is. Lovely.
So this is what we need for October. And with this full moon energy. Now I think there's going to be another full moon on Halloween, which is the first time since World War I that it'll be in that particular sign, which I need to do a little homework on, but that will be phenomenal.
Wow.
So since World War I. So, but anyway, that's pretty exciting that we have this full moon energy. I think too, like I said, it's a test of patience and it's our inner resolve. I think one of the biggest things that I think that talking with my clients that has been the hardest for people, and you can chime in on this too, Carolan, because I know you probably heard this from your clients, is the birthdays or the little picnics or the get-togethers or the coffee clutches, right? The girls time, card night, you name it, family night. All those things, a lot of people, I mean, it's just been discombobulated. And, I think if we take the good from this is to treasure and not to let that go so that when things all get cleared out here, because if you really think about this year is a 4 universal year. Mm-hmm. And usually that's very good for security and laying a strong foundation, but it's also an upheaval of the foundation to get things better organized. And, that's the only thing that's kept me going in a more positive frame of mind, to know that all this turmoil is going to be churned up to get resolved and be even better than it was before. So I know it used to get in my last nerve of people saying, oh, this is the new normal. No, that has got nothing to do with love and family and girlfriends and close family members and co-workers. That has nothing to do with that. Nothing should change that. Mm-hmm. Heart to heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I agree. If this full moon today is a cleansing, that's a good thing. But yes. I kind of also feel like it's giving us these little moon rays that are shooting down through the window here, seem to be grounding. So I kind of like that feeling. I kind of like, that the chaos is doesn't feel as abrupt to me. Would you agree with that? I feel that the moon is kind of grounding
I like to stay centered in the positive, as you know that, Carolan. That's my hot button. But only good's going to come from this is my affirmation. Even though that things, have been really upheavaled or changed, or this rule and now we're changing that. It's challenged us to be flexible. I can tell you that. But I do, I make the affirmation that I believe that everything that we went through, that only good's going to come out of this. And we have to stay focused, because I really, truly feel that people have learned, I think going back to the old biblical days, good versus evil, right? Mm-hmm. Positive, negative, right? Right, wrong. To me, it's a rebalancing. And that's what a 4-year universal year will do, is because it wants structure. Okay. It wants structure. It wants that strong foundation. And so when there's things that get in the way of a shaky foundation, guess what? You got to fix it. Right.
Right. Yes.
So that's what I truly believe, that where we're at right now. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah. I think that, thank you so much for bringing that information to us. It's very helpful. I'm sure it'll be very helpful to all myself and to our viewers as well. We have, how do you feel about doing some readings? We have some great, our usual guests and some new guests. We have Kimberly on here. We have, shout out to Linnell. We have Heidi, Jill Hayden. Get your dates of birth, Kim Smith. Get your dates of birth up, people, so we can call on you.
Right.
Got hers.
Right. I think what they need to understand is, when I'm called the soul reader, your name on your birth certificate and your birth date is how you're registered in heaven. Mm-hmm. When we do these little mini readings, which I take a peek, it's, because it's your soul, it's a download from heaven. I just need your first name and your month and day. If you want to give me the year, that's cool too. But we're all going to be affected by this 4, and I have to see how it plays into your birth date and what the message would be. Or if you have a specific question, I'll do my very best to give you the answer.
Okay, we have Linnell's date of birth first. So Linnell, Lanell.
Lanell. Okay.
All right, and her birth date is 8/9/66.
Okay. So give me a little minute to compute here.
And Linnell is one of our Patreon patrons.
Okay.
So she watches all of our shows. God bless her.
Well, welcome. That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, she does. She supports all of us here on Goldylocks Productions. Check out the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, and Periscope, and everywhere else, because we're everywhere.
Well, what I love about you, Nellie, first of all, you've got a great sense of humor, but you're very creative, honey. It's all over your charts. So you'd be an excellent, communicator, artist, or, a lot of times I see beauticians with this number, artists, musicians, or people who are just great crafters that are just phenomenal. But, you're very strong, and you're very sensitive at the same breath. So it's really kind of an interesting dichotomy you have. But I feel that the pinnacle that you're at right now, which is starting October, November, and December, it's almost like weighing out, and it's almost like you're shifting or reshifting or making decisions. And, Carolan's heard me say this many times, but we have to get out of our head so we don't procrastinate. So it's important to get that piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, put the pros on one side and the cons on the other. Because, when you get out of your head, you can be more proactive and not get into procrastination. Any kind of decisions that you make that you're going to weigh out here. And also, too, this is a good time for you to take probiotics if you've got tummy issues or digestive issues, which I feel would be at this particular issue with you. So there's a lot of different things in this pinnacle here that I'm picking up. So whether it's a work situation, a decorating situation, a moving situation, contracts, buying something new. You've got to look at dotting your I's and crossing your T's. This is like you're very, you've got a good gut sense of intuitiveness. And I think if you really reflect on yourself, Linnell, when you have not followed that gut feeling is when you made your biggest boo-boos. So I'm encouraging you to use the gift well and to not question it, because there's no logic. And this is what everybody needs to understand. There's no rationale and there's no logic to the intuitive gift. That's your internal warning system. Mm-hmm. And you have it in your chart this year. And so this is saying, pay attention and follow through and get out of your head, because that's where you'll over process or over procrastinate. Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you. I think that Linnell's going to be delighted with that. Our next runner up is Jill, 8/22/63. 8/22/63.
Okay.
And it's Jill Susan, if that matters.
Okay.
And we have a few others on here, so whatever.
Well, this is for Jill and this is for the audience, because I have a J too.
Okay.
And the J is a numerologist, and I'm a master numerologist. The J, if you think about it, is a long stick, so that's really stability and your strength. And somebody who's a survivor that could, even though that things may waver, that you're still standing strong. But with that hook to the J, gives it a lot of sensitivity, and you don't want your boo-boos collected in that little hook there. You don't want your boo-boos there. You also don't want your disappointments there. Because, as I teach, and this, Carolan, is that when we go through different things in our life, they're either a lesson or a blessing. The most important thing is to learn the lesson so that you can get stronger and more empowered as you move through life. None of us is getting out of this life unscathed that we don't have a lesson or two to learn. That's right. Just the way it is, and a lot of people say, well, geez, Joanne, you really kind of nailed that. Well, yeah, because, and I know something, they don't talk to you about that in school. They're not going to tell you that, people can hurt you or disappoint you or say something and how you're going to deal with it, or you have a relationship that went south or whatever. But as far as Jill goes, I wanted to explain to her about that J. So it encourages us to not let things collect in that hook. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I've had to work through it. I got the J. But I know that Jill's very sensitive. A lot of people might not know how sensitive she is because she's got that strength about her, but she, people misjudge her with her sensitivity. So, when she, if we got I got a paper cut and she got a paper cut, I'm going to go wash off my finger, put a little Neosporin on it, a Band-Aid, and I'm good to go. We're taking her for stitches. Okay. So that's how intense her feelings are. So right now, this is like, it's really funny how people come in droves with the same influence. And so Jill's got a lot of decisions and weighing out and sorting through this year. And it's not going to be completed until you look at what's good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. So you have to make some choices that, and be honest and clear with yourself of what is good for you and not good for you. A lot of people, that's why they call it disease. It's dis-ease. And our bodies are all energy. So it's very important we keep the mind and the body in a clear state of mind and doing that energy work. So I would encourage her on that. I think October, November, and December, I think is weighing out things. It could be a little emotional, but I do feel that there's going to be a weighing out of things. And that's where we get into the good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. And look at making the right decisions. Not healthy for you is a red light. Healthy for you is a green light. Okay. Good for you is a green light. Not good for you is a red light. It's where you can stand in your power. Do you understand? So it's kind of like I want to tell Jill, it's like a crossing guard. Do they always have their stop sign up? No. What do they use the stop sign for? They use it to direct traffic, prevent an accident, right? Keep the children or the pedestrians safe. So, you know, you have to learn boundaries. And when are you going to lift your stop sign? When you're in the intersections of your feelings. Okay.
Good
So
point.
this is October, November, and December. You got to be a good crossing guard of your heart, mind, and soul.
Good advice. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you for tuning in, Jill. Thank you very much. We have Anne Marie, whose actual name is Carol,
Ah,
and her birthday is 1/9. She gave me January 9.
okay. Well, I think Carol, what she's going through this year personifies with a lot of us have experienced, and that's the unexpected or to be flexible. So, hold on a second. I got to compute.
Okay, no problem.
So right now we're Carol is, and it's really interesting. I'd love to talk to her on a one-to-one basis because she's using Anne Marie and her real name's Carol. So that's that with numerology. Because remember, the name on your birth certificate is how you're registered in heaven. So we'd have an interesting conversation, her and I. Trust me. But when we get into October, November, and December with Carol, it's going to be very interesting where she has to stand strong in her shoes and really cut to the chase on the emotional or the decisions that need to be made. She's in that cycle of good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me, what needs to go, what needs to stay, what needs to move forward. And so it may not be an easy segue, but there are definitely some emotional issues that might be throwing a curveball at her. And but I say stand strong in your shoes, honey, because you've got that one there. I know you're very sensitive. She was a healer in a past life, so it makes her sensitivity more intense. Do you understand? Because she's a feeler. So while you're going through this cycle, October, November, and December, just, you know, make your affirmations, you know, and love yourself through it, and you know, be positive, stand strong in your shoes. That's my famous expression that I give to a lot of my life coaching gals is I go, you got to stand strong in those shoes, honey. Some decisions are not always easy to make, but you know what? You got to keep marching. Okay.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Anne Marie / Carol, for joining us tonight. I want to welcome Kimberly. Kimberly has took some of my master classes. God bless her. And so it's very nice to see you, Kimberly. Kimberly is 4/10/71.
Okay. Well, Kim, one thing I want to say to you, because I got all these sensitive souls here, because you know, numerology is a 3,000-year-old science, so it's the vowels and the consonants. But you know, the first vowel in your name, Kimberly, is, you know, highly sensitive. So you're a feeler. Yeah, but you know, that K in your name keeps you a stuffer. So if you have these feelings and you don't like the drama that goes on, that's where you need to be more true to yourself, you know. And I want to say this to you because I think this is a good year for you to practice this, because it's kind of like you got to do a changeover here, because what I'm really feeling here is like you don't want the drama, so you let things slide, and then that comes up again, and then you slide it over again. It finally stacks up, and so either you get yourself into a tizzy or a nervous situation, or you become the volcano, one of the two. I don't think you're too much of a volcano, but I think you simmer. Okay, that's not good either. So it gets back to the part where we have to go back to the 2-year-old example that I use all the time. When you're 2 years old, don't look that way. Don't say that. Don't touch that. Be nice. Share your choice. Keep your mouth shut. You'll hurt their feelings. And so guess what? You've learned to push yourself second best.
Yeah.
Not good. So what I'm looking at by your birth date is that we're going through the cycle, and you're going through the cycle right now of this whole year has been where you have to really decide, and it's been emotional too. So I definitely want to go forward here. Let me see here. There's definitely something that's got on your last nerve, and there's definitely, I don't know if there's stress about a job situation or the responsibilities that come with it, but I feel like this is something that you're going to have to weigh out, but it should be resolved by the end of December.
Good news. That's great. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you. Welcome, everybody that's jumping on. I've got some new friends, some old friends on here. That's great. Karen, welcome. Glad to see you. Here's an interesting one. Now I have Karen, who I've known for a long time. Her name is spelled Karin, and her birth date is 1/14/62.
Okay.
She's a youngin'.
Yeah, she is. Another one that needs to learn to express herself and talking to the I statements. When that happened, I was embarrassed when that was said. I was hurt because she can tend to hold her feelings to herself because she wants to be the bigger person, or she doesn't want to hurt somebody's feelings, or she doesn't want the drama. But she's smart, she's strong, sensitive. I think her feelings can get hurt super easy. She's only going to, she lets it stack up though, but she's got that 14 birthday, which, she's only going to take so much once it gets too high on the stack. So we have, this is really good because you're in a brand new cycle, Karen, which is really cool because you've gone through 18 months of really being tested of what's good for you, not good for you, healthy for you, not healthy for you. And we all go through it. You're in a 9 cycle that takes about 18 months to work through. But it's like almost like spiritually, we have to face either friends, a work situation, where we live, a lot of decision making, and it really forces us to work through different situations and emotions. And now you're on a brand new cycle, which is great because it's got to be lessons learned. So I'd like for you to look back over the last year and a half and really take pride in what you learned so that you can take that information and just really soar like an eagle. I feel you're in for some positive changes October, November, December. Let's see here. And I think the most important thing is make the decisions. Don't go ring around the rosy. Don't get scattered energy or have too many things going where you just feel like you don't have a handle on it. Just sort it through, make your A, B, and C list. And that will get you out of feeling, I got to do it all kind of thing. Okay. And then take one thing at a time. But she's very smart. She's got a sizzling personality. So I'd say charisma is a strong suit for her. And I do know that she's super sensitive. She was a healer in 2 lifetimes. So that's going to make her more sensitive because she's gone through all those processes too. She just needs to learn to balance it. That would be my advice.
Great reading. Thank you for tuning in tonight, Karen. Let's see who else we have. Take a sip of your tea there, and I'll line up our next caller or visitor. Kavita. It's spelled Kavita.
Isn't it amazing? We had Kimberly, Karen, and now we have Kavita. Yep. And all of them have that K there. Isn't that interesting?
Yep.
And that is somebody who's, strong and moves forward, but when they get emotionally in the gitches, they hold it inside. And I can tell you that doing this for 30 something years, that I would strongly suggest them learning the I statements, because they will get stomach problems, stomach or intestinal or colon issues. Usually is the onset when you stuff your feelings and you don't explain yourself. And why is that freezing?
You're okay. You're okay.
Okay. So
Kavita's birth date is 4/11. I don't know if you need that.
yeah, I do. Okay. So that's really, now we had Karen that was 114, and we have Kavita that's 4/11, and they're both in the same cycle. They both total to a 15, which is really a 6. And even though the Kavita's 4/11, she's a 15. It's hysterical. I love how these little souls all clump together. It's wonderful.
It's nice to know you're not alone if your misery likes company, if you're going through a rough patch, right?
Oh, absolutely. So again, Kavita too, what we're talking about here, hon, is that you've gone through that 18-month cycle. And people, places, and things, as I have explained over many of the shows, that we go through that cycle, and it helps us to either, it's either people that, either need to stay, go, or that we need to learn to communicate differently in this lifetime. So that's very, very important. Carolan, can you see me? Because it's frozen on my side.
No, you're okay. We can see it.
Okay, good. All right. So when Kavita, I would say April, May, and let's see here. April, May, and June, there was definitely some decisions or weighing out to do. And I would say that it has to do where you had to make a decision using your logic. I feel finances definitely are on the upswing, July, August, September, or an opportunity where you planted the seeds. And then we get into October, November, December. I really feel that you're in for a much more smoother, positive road to go through here. I would definitely do some great goal setting if I were you, because you've got that a great cycle going for you, October, November, and December. And if you can plan a little trip to de-stress, I'd say go for it in those months.
Great reading. Thank you. Thank you, Kavita, for checking in with us tonight. Next we have, if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. We have Kim Smith, 6470.
Okay. So we got this is too hilarious for words. Okay.
That sounds very promising here.
Yeah, it's like she's at the cycle right now, which I think this has been an unsettling, or maybe having to be so flexible this year that it can get on your last nerve. And I think all of us really kind of know that too, right?
Yes.
So I think what's really, really important is that the most important thing she could do for herself right now is not overreact or go through making a hasty decision. I would weigh it out. There's something that definitely needs to be changes made. And, my advice to her for this October, November cycle is to thy own self be true. Stop worrying about what other people think. Here's another sensitive soul. Okay. Anna Stuffer, here's a Kim. So we had, let's see, 1, 2, 3. She makes number 4 with the K. And that's holding your feelings because you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings, or you just hold it to yourself because you don't want to make a scene, or you don't want an argument, and it's going to take a toll on your tummy. I can tell you that. So you have to learn to talk in I statements. I'm going to repeat myself for all these K girls here. You got to speak in I statements. When that was said, I was hurt. When that happened, I was embarrassed. When that whole thing evolved, I was disappointed. There's no fight with I. But if I'm going to do, you said this and you did that, oh boy, we're going to, get your boxing gloves on. Okay. When you do the I, there's no fight. And guess what? You get to stand strong in your own darn shoes. How's that? So that's a good thing.
Great. Good advice. Yeah, I can see the pattern coming here. So even I can see that. Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
Yep. It happens all the time, Carolan, when we do expos, and I'm sitting at my table and people come up. It's amazing on how similar or the connections are, that there's a soul connection from previous lifetimes. I can tell you that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
How about, let me see. I have B Mark here. She didn't give me her name. I have BEE, and her birth date is 5/29/60. I don't know if that's the name.
5/29/1960.
Right. Thank you all for joining us. Everybody loves Joanne. They like to get a reading with Psychic Joanne Leo. Tell you, when I work expos with her, it's always busy. I don't think she takes a breath the whole time. I hope we go back to expo someday.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so here's what's going on with B. And she's another one because the B's like the K, holding stuff inside.
Oh, okay.
But she also is a little fiery too, because she, if her name is truly B, which it sounds to me like a nickname, okay?
Yeah.
Because spiritually or intuitively, I'm not feeling that's her birth name, okay? Yeah. But if she goes by B, she can be a little powder keg with her emotions. So, if you're a stuffer and you have that kind of energy, you're going to become a volcano sooner or later, okay? But what I really feel like, there's something going on with family or a relationship that she's going to go through in October, November, and December. And I would definitely say that make sure that you got to have three things here, B, in order for things to resolve or get blossomed into a relationship. You got to have three things that consider it healthy. The first thing is trust. The second thing is respect. And that means you have to have respect for the other person, but you can never give up self-respect ever. And the third thing is communication. But so whether it's a family member or whether it's somebody that's a heartthrob or, a special interest or a spouse or a lover, a mate, that's something that you need to make sure that you're on solid ground or that you're stating your case. But that is a lot of different things here, but it definitely revolves around family. There could also be like a family reunion towards the end of the year or a family gathering. I don't know if it's a celebration of something, but that's definitely the case that I see here. Okay.
Her name, B wrote in after you'd finished. Her name is Bernice.
Okay. Bernice. Okay. Because I knew that it wasn't the name on a birth certificate.
Right.
Okay, Bernice. Let me look at that.
To stress that, Psychic Joanne Leo is a frequent flyer, radio personality, video personality on Goldylocks Productions. She shows up occasionally on our shows, super guest. So you can catch her on Jimmy Mac's show. Sometimes you can see her on Angel and Healing Light, and you'll see her on my show frequently. What do you got for Bernice?
Well, I'll tell you what. Bernice has got, she definitely has sizzle, but yet she's very sensitive, so that when she gets truly hurt, she's not really expressing it till it gets right up to here. Do you understand? And a lot of times right up to here, guess what happens with that K and the B's? Okay? They stuff it. They hold it inside. And guess where it settles? Your tummy or your digestive issues. So, these, I would say you need to, speak and learn those I statements. But like I said, what's going on with you, it hasn't changed what I came up with you before. Also, too, I think the most important thing is that, and I know that she can't stand liars. I think she's got a great sizzle about her. She's a great communicator. I mean, she could sell ice to the Eskimos if only she believes in it. Because it's not like she could just go sell something on a whim. It would have to be something that she truly has used or believes in. And then she could just, shoot to the moon, as far as I'm concerned. She should always follow her intuition. And her big karmic lesson in this lifetime is stubbornness.
Gee, I think I'm familiar with that. Thank you for that. That was lovely, Joanne. Thank you. Dina, D-E,
What is it?
D-E-E-N-A.
Oh,
And-
there's
yeah.
a firecracker.
She's 12/26/62.
There's a little firecracker. She should always buy.
She's kind of stuck.
Huh?
She feels a little stuck.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Okay. Bernice. Okay, we got that one. Let's see.
She's frustrated. She's not only stuck, but she's frustrated. But here's the good news. What I would say to you, Dina, is that number one, you got to get a pencil and paper out, okay? And you've got to set some goals here, okay? And whether it's, and you got to have in your mind while you're making this list, good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for, good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me, good for me, not good for me. I really feel like you're in a brand new cycle. I definitely would encourage you to get into affirmations. I'm a big believer with Louise Hay. Her and I studied Shin, so she's got tons of affirmations out there. And she's also the one that your emotions are connected to physical ailments. And so that's why I was talking to the B and the K's tonight, because you can definitely affect that. And as a numerologist, I'm going to pick it up when I do your name. I guess, Dina, the thing is that you're a real go-getter, but by the same token, too, you got to watch your temper, okay? And she probably doesn't like liars either. But I feel like you've got a whole new, you can make some really great inroads of getting unstuck. Though where you're stuck is in between your ears. You're not allowing yourself to say what else is possible, or listing your attributes, or if you're looking for a position. I tell people, well, guess what? They're not going to come knocking on your door and say, I got the perfect job for you. That isn't going to happen. You got to put out 5 to 10 resumes a day, 5 to 10 phone calls, whatever, follow-up little cards or whatever. This isn't the old days where you knocked on the door and said, I'm here, I'd love to have an interview. That doesn't work that way. You're in a stack. So you got to stand out, and you got to make your affirmations, and miracles come to people who expect them. So I am going to tell you to expect a miracle.
Great reading. Thank you for joining us tonight, Dina. Thank you. Lovely name. Let me see. We have a few more. Let's see if we can get a few of them in here. I hope we can get to everybody, but if we can't, you'll just have to join us next time Joanne's on, and we'll talk about that. Let's see. We have Nellie, but I think her name is Janelle. Let's see if we can get Tiffany to light that up. I can't read if that's an L or a J on there. I can't read it. It says Nellie Matt, and I can't tell if it's a J or an L. So
Well,
I think
that's
there, it's a J. It's Janelle. Okay. Janelle 51990. I guess they like to protect their privacy, and which is kind of smart. They use different name on screen. I think I can understand that, having been attacked a few times myself. I can understand that.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing. This is like the third one that I had that you know, the last year and a half has not been an easy rodeo, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you know, in all categories. Let's put it that way. The test of the tests. But here's the good news, Janelle. You got a brand new clear road ahead of you. So I definitely would think that you'd want to definitely make some positive decisions. Take note of lessons learned, whether it was relationships that weren't healthy, a job situation that wasn't good for you or didn't work out, or there were too many problems, family situations, whatever may have come about in that year and a half. It's like a book. You read a chapter, you have a pretty good idea what that chapter was about. And the same thing with your life. There's always something to learn and grow from. If we go through tough lessons, and God knows when I was on the spiritual journey, I said to one of my guru teachers, so to speak, and I said to her, "Oh, you know, why would I design this? Because your name on your birth certificate is your blueprint." And I go, "Well, why would I do that? I mean, I haven't had an easy rodeo." And she goes, "And you wouldn't be here to be a light worker to help other people on their path." And I thought, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay." Because I get the lesson learned. Okay. And it took me a long time to understand that through the toughest times, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And there is a positive solution, whether it's never to make that judgment again, or that decision again, or that type of personality or that person. It's like an aha moment. And when you get your ahas, it's one of the greatest feelings in the whole wide world. And I am a big believer, Carolan can tell you, I am a light worker. I am going to look for the good, because out of every negative situation, there's a good thing coming. Okay? Because I've either learned something, because I don't want to stick my hand on that fire again. You understand? I learned the lesson, oh, that's pretty hot and that's going to scar me. You know, so I think the most important thing right now that you got to is positive changes. I do feel like everything started changing for you in July. Well, July, August, and September, and now it's kind of like you've got to take the bull by the reins, or the horse by the reins, or whatever, and move forward here, because you've got an exciting cycle for this October, November, and December, and it's like putting rocket fuel in there. So make your decisions, make the good decisions, because you've just been through a year and a half of not so easy breezy, anything like that. Okay.
Good job, Joanne. Good job. Heidi, you need to take a sip of tea. Joanne, am I working you too hard?
No, I'm good, but I'll drink my tea any day of the week.
Okay. Well, let me ask you something. I have a question here too. I have a few more people wanted readings if we can get them. But this lady, CV, she's asking, do the 18-month cycles start from January or our birth month? That's a very good question.
It's really funny because I do it psychically. Now, there are numerologists that will say that, because, you know, you go through a personal year number every year. It starts in January. But some numerologists go from birthday to birthday. When I do the 18 month, I take it from the beginning of the year, go past the birthday, and then count it through. So I do it a little bit differently because my spirit guide makes me do it that way. But you know, there are two schools of thought. Okay. So, you know, usually that essence starts the beginning of the year.
Okay. I appreciate you taking a moment to answer that because I wanted to clarify that. Let's see who else we have because that's very helpful. Let's see. We did Heidi 1127. We didn't do Heidi yet.
No,
right?
we did not.
Okay.
Well, here's a gal that's strong as all get out, but sensitive. And a lot of people misjudge you, Heidi, because they think you're the Rock of Gibraltar when they don't know that you're a marshmallow inside. What's your birthday?
1127.
Well, there you go. Definitely intuitive in 2 previous lifetimes. That she did the spiritual work, Carolan, like she may have been a healer, or she may have been a high spiritual teacher, or she may have been a doctor. It had to benefit mankind. That's all I'm going to say. It had to benefit humanity. So she's got it twice in her chart. Okay. So it comes out to that her achievement numbers, a master number, the month she's born and the day she's born are master numbers. So I know she's super sensitive. I know that she doesn't like drama. She definitely should pay attention to her gut or intuitive feelings. She might be a hearer. Me, I'm a sensor. So when I get something, the words just come out with the sensing. But there are clairaudios and clairvoyance and all that kind of stuff. We all have our different gifts. But she definitely has that. She's in a great cycle this year because this is a power cycle, Heidi. This is one where you really need to lay out all the different goals or the different things that you want to overcome. I think, a lot of people misjudge you, but I believe she was a hands-on healer or somebody that was like a shaman or medicine woman or into the, a doctor or nurse. She's been around the horn a few times. I can tell you that. Okay, let me just see here. And she's an old soul.
Okay. So
definitely,
definitely
an old soul. Yeah. So this is definitely a time for her to have some fun, not take life so seriously, because I think she's got her nose to the grindstone all the time. She's too hard on herself too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did Heidi, and next I have Linda, 12450. Ooh, we're gonna have to cram them in here.
That's okay.
Well, do the best you can, people.
Linda, in this lifetime, your test is with alcohol or substances, because in a previous lifetime it took you out. So it may not be you, but it could be the people around you. I know that this little lesson, personally myself, but it's definitely one of your karmic things that you have to deal with in this lifetime. This year is all about you balancing things out and not letting everybody get on your last nerve. Okay?
Good luck.
Okay. But by the same token too, this, one thing that comes with this birthday too, or with this issue, is being the critic. And, it's going to be one of your biggest challenges to conquer in this lifetime because you picked it when you were in heaven. Okay. So don't be so hard on yourself, but look at the big picture and weigh it out rather than just look for what's wrong. And I guess that's the best advice I could give you, Linda, is look for what's right first and then look for what's wrong. And you're going to do a little switcheroo here that I really think is going to benefit you in the long haul here. Okay. And stop trying to be everybody's fixer here too. Let's see here. 2, 9, 11, 2, 6. Lots of family and responsibility. There will definitely be some issues that you're going to have to do and take charge and take the reins. October, November, and December. Whether it's you say delegating responsibility to the people because you're not supposed to be doing everybody else's stuff. So this is when I come to family members. You're not to be used and abused. And I don't have any idea why I'm saying that, but that's what I got for you. And also to definitely do something fun for yourself. Okay. I think we've all been through the mills. I know I'm ready to break out of this scenario. I've been encamped. So I get it. Yeah. But I definitely think that there's some family issues or whatever. Wait out and make suggestions. Don't put it on your plate. Just say, you might want to try this. You might want to try that. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Because fixers, people out there, most of my clients, fixers with an equal sign is victims. You always wind up a victim if you become the fixer, because the people you're trying to fix are never, ever going to fix themselves. Okay? They don't have to. They got you.
Right. And you put up with it.
Until you hold up your stop sign.
Yeah.
You see that? Here's the thing: give your advice, give suggestions to the people that want to suck you dry, and you say to them, "I'm sure you'll figure it out." You see, you gave them a couple of different ideas. You might want to call here. You might want to look there. You may want to go check this out, and then you take your hands off of it, and you say, "I'm sure you'll figure it out."
Good advice for all of us. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to squeeze one more in here if we can briefly, because we're at 8:57. But this gal caught my eye, as many of us. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Chanel had a really tough day at work.
How do you spell her name? How do you spell her name?
Chanelle.
Chanelle.
Correct. And her birth date is, what is her birthday? 5/8/73.
Okay, well, this makes total sense.
Okay. We have, we're not going to get to everybody, but we're going to squeeze this one in. I will keep you posted when the lovely and talented, fabulous Psychic Joanne Leo comes back on to rock our program again in the Psychic Flow. I will keep you posted, and you can check out her website, psychicjoanneleo.com, for your own appointment with her. Rock it, Joanne. What do you got?
All right, sweetheart. Well, you got choices here. And the thing is don't feel like you're in a box. Okay. You got to weigh it out. Yeah. And the audience has heard me tonight because I do this with my life coaching clients, is you got to segue good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. Get out of your head of doing the ring around the rosy here. You take it on the chin. And you've got all this energy, and you've got all this sparkle, and you got all this, chutzpah to you, and you're a doer. But by the same token, too, you can't be a stuffer, or you can't put it aside because you feel like if you open your mouth, you're going to explode. So take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Say, I hear what you're saying. Let me get back to you on that. Let me think about it. The people that tick you off, you have to take a breath. You have to take a breath and say, you know what? I heard what you said. Let me think about it. Let me get back to you on it. Mm-hmm. And if somebody's labeling you, it doesn't make it true unless you buy it. Okay? So somebody wants to call somebody lazy. Well, that's their truth, not your truth. You see? You can't have that stick to you if it's not the truth. So what's your truth? You had a bad day at work. Take a deep breath. And then step back and look at what is the situation here. Is this good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me? What course of action do I need to take? Do I need to have a conversation? Do I need to let it slide? Do I need to bring it up when it comes up again? There's choices. And you know what? You have the power. So quit giving your power away, Chanel. That's my gig here. That's my advice to you.
Great job, Joanne. A lot of compliments on your work tonight. Everybody thought it was fabulous. As usual, we are at the hour. Psychic Joanne Leo has joined us. Join us next week for Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer. I hope you will join us in the Psychic Flow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. My website, carolancarey.com. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.